Hello, I'm Patrick Dooley. I'm the Senior Product Manager for GitLab's Ecosystem Group, and I'm here for our kickoff video for the 12.7 release, and I want to talk about a couple of things that we're going to be working on over the next month. So the first issue that I want to discuss is making transition IDs for our Jira integration easier to configure. This has been a long time pain point. If you look at the integration page right now, you have to enter a transition ID. Now, transitions are when you go from one state of an issue to another. So from to do to doing, or doing to done. Right? Those transitions have an ID number. It's stored inside of Jira. We admittedly don't make it very easy for you to get that information. You have to pull it out of a link. You have to, by hovering over the link or viewing source, and that's not easy. It also isn't very user-friendly. Like, what does to mean in this example? Is that to do to doing or doing to done? Right? This is not a great user experience. So we've had a really great conversation in here with the team. We've got a couple of options in the Jira API that's available. They have a workflows API that'll allow us to pull out all of those possible states. And we just had a new UX designer join us in the last release. And so he's going to start working on a design for an update to this that'll make it easier for you to grab that information. Another piece that Libor is going to be working on, he's already assigned to the issue, is simplifying our integration settings page. So right now, every project has this integrations page. And it's pretty confusing because under the title integrations here, these are how you set up webhooks. And then there's no real break here. And then all of a sudden it's project services, which is what we tend to call integrations. Now, project services is the old name on the back end. Like that's what it's actually called, that object is called. But this is what you're going to think of when you think of an integration. So custom issue trackers, Bugzilla, Asana, Jira that we were just talking about. Each of these integrations is listed down here. And it's kind of hard to see what's currently being used. It doesn't give you a ton of information. There are no categories. Like there are lots of considerations that he's going to be taking into account. And so we're going to look at revamping this page. And so again, the design work is going to be starting in 12.7, and he's going to be going through that soon to try to come up with a better experience and improve this to make it a little easier for users to dig into. And last, and I think most excitingly, we're going to be adding configuration level to our service model. And this is a very back-end change. This isn't very exciting to anyone, except it's what's going to enable us to start working on our mass integration epic. So without diving too deep into the architecture of how GitLab works with integrations, we have this thing called a service. And a service is attached to a project, and that's where those integrations come from. So the Jira integration is powered by the Jira project service on the back end. So that service today can only be attached to a project. And so if we want to do things like this mass integration at a group and instance level, we have an epic here, which we've had some good discussion in. One of the things we want to do is group level integrations. And so to get to group level integrations, those services need to be able to work at the group level. By adding the configuration level field to that and starting to make some changes to how the service model works, we'll be able to start moving those services up to the group and eventually instance level. This is going to be a huge step for us because this is laying the groundwork for starting to get into more of this mass integration work. We have a really interesting inheritance model that we've been talking about. This will really expand what we're able to do with it. And for context, this was kicked off by some work. We had a ton of requests for being able to do group level Jira integration. And so that turned into this work where we're looking at integrations at the group level. And what we'll do by adding this is the beginning of the work that will allow us to make all of our integrations, which we talked about on this integrations page, right? All of these integrations, the goal is by making these changes at that back-end level, we should be able to make all of these available at the group level here soon. So that's it for 12/7. It's going to be a somewhat light month because of the holiday season. We've got a lot of people taking time off and enjoying their holidays. But we've got some really exciting work that's going to be happening. I think there's going to be some really awesome impacts for our users making things easier, making things more simple, and making things more powerful, especially with that mass integration work. So I'm really excited over the next few months. I think there's going to be some really awesome changes on the integration side. And so happy holidays and have a good one. Bye.